Hey guys, what's up? It's the Culture Detective here, investigating your favorite albums, and today I'm going to be doing an album review on the new Herhums album, Binding Chime. So, yeah, yesterday I talked about how Midair Thief has essentially released a new album under the name Bird's Eye Thief, and I mentioned how the closest thing we can possibly get to a new Midair Thief album came in the form of Herhums, and Herhums is actually the female vocalist on two songs made by Midair Thief under the name of Shadow Community. And her vocals have been fantastic, and I've always been curious on, whether she makes music on her own as well. Last year, she released her first solo album, I believe, and I thought it was pretty beautiful, but it did not really catch me completely. I did not listen to the whole thing, thus, I did not review that album. But now that I've listened to the album again lately, I realize that there are a lot of very beautiful and very pretty moments on that album, and I now kind of wish that I had reviewed her album last year. But anyways, worry not, because she has released a new album called Binding Chime. Now, essentially, the first album she released, it has a lot of Midair Thief on it. Midair Thief would compose some of the tracks, he would even sing on some of the tracks. But on Herhum's new album, she's gone completely solo. This album is also really short, very sweet and short, at only 21 minutes long, and it is melancholic, dreamlike indie folk music. And I was quite entranced by it. I was quite hypnotized by how melancholic and dreamy the music sounds. I can very much see the Midair Thief influences, but I also really love that this album stands on its own as an indie folk album. So anyways, starting off, we have the album opener B, or Rain. So this is a hell of a beautiful album opener. We have tiptoeing guitars and the guitar strokes that add so much texture to the song. We have the tender vocals, and then we have these little chimes, dun 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 dun, that adds so much magic in the chorus, and the whole song just feels very dreary and wandering and lonely and misty and foggy. When I listen to the track, I feel like I'm lost in some forest, and it's fog and mist and smoke everywhere, but it's also cold and wet, and it's just gorgeous. Then the second track, Common Nun, or Common Eyes, is a spacey, stripped back folk number that is both dreamy and strange. I also love the subtle synth embellishments that, again, feels very Midair Thief, but very much thrives on its own on this track. Also, in a lot of ways, reminds me of something Aobai Chiko would have made, especially in her earlier days. Then the third track kicks in. We have Huin Param, which means fair wind. We have slow, spacious hand drums and rustic vocal harmonies. There's something very folksy about it. It's bitter, it's sour, but also it's tender, it's trying to teach you something, and immediately it reminds me of early Fleet Foxes. Then Huanhi, or Rejoice, has more of a summery, shuffly sound that I really like. Then the album sort of transitions into three tracks where she begins to sing in English. We have the track Posa, which is a highlight on the album for me. There is a slight bossa nova influence in the track that just the right amount of jazzy and the right amount of melancholy really brings me back to, I don't know, the summer of 2013, or it was 2012, and I was in some park and everything was bright and colorful, and I just feel like I'm transported to some space that I haven't been for like a decade or more. And then the second half of the track speeds up into this flurry of noise, just bursting with colors and sound. Then the next two tracks, Rewind and Play, are just okay. They're pretty standard folk ballads. They sound really good. but they don't necessarily stand out all that much. And the album ends off on Heya, which is a really solemn yet ethereal ending to the album. It really ends on a somber note. And yeah, I wish this album's longer. 21 minutes is not long enough, but what we have on this album is fantastic. I like it even more than the new Midair Thief album, and I think this is definitely worth listening to, worth checking out. Highly recommend if you want to get into some Korean folk music. This is it. I'm giving this new Herhums album, Binding Chime, a strong 8 out of 10. So, have you listened to the new Herhums album? Comments below, let me know. Subscribe if you want more, and thanks for watching.